Everyone, I welcome you all to this video. And today in this video, we are going to discuss about SQL basics questions. So we will be discussing about the first set of the questions for the SQL basics part. And we will be requiring a new database for that. So first of all, we will be creating a database. So we will write create database. And then in these square brackets, we can provide the name of the database, that is SQL basics questions, and I will simply execute the statement. Now we will have to write use database, use this database, that is use SQL basics question. So we can write use SQL basics questions, and if we will execute this statement, so commands completed successfully. And now I already have a piece of code ready with me because we will be requiring a table for practice purpose. So first of all, I will open the notepad and I will copy this piece of code from here. I will be providing this in the resource section as well so that you can create the same table and you can follow along with me. Control R. And now we will select the SQL code written from line 7 to line 25. And then we will simply click on execute. So 10 rows were impacted and a new table by the name employees was created. And this table resides in the database SQL basics questions. So now I will open a new query window. So I will simply click on new query and let's close the object explorer. We do not need it now. So I will now go to the notepad and will copy the questions that we have. And then we will discuss about the solutions of these questions. So these are the questions that we need to answer. So I'll select all the questions. Control C. Let's open Microsoft SQL Server. Paste it here. Control V. And since we would like to comment all these questions, so I will select all of them. And then I will click here on this box that is comment out the selected lines. And this will comment all the lines for us. And these are basically the questions. So now let's begin with the discussion about the questions. As of now, you can see here at the top that SQL basics questions is already selected. Press enter. Now let's talk about the solution of the first question. So how do you select all the columns from the employees table? So it's very simple. We have already been discussing it. So select star from the table. So select star from employees. Simply write the name of the table, execute the statement, and it will give you the answer that this is the table that we have, right? So we have a total of 10 columns and this is the data that we have. Now let's talk about the solution of the second question. So how do you select only first name and last name columns from the employees table? Again, this is very simple. So we can write select star from the table name, that is employees. And since we do not want all the columns, so we only want first and last name. So in place of star, we will write first name, comma, last name from the employees. So I will select this part and will execute it. Now let's talk about the third question. So the question is, how do you find all the employees who work in IT department? So we can write select star from our table is employees, where department is equal to IT. If we will select the statement and execute it, it will show us the records of only those employees who work in IT department. Or alternatively, we can also write it in this way by using the like operator. So we can write it in this way as well, as I'm writing in line 15, might be 16. So we can write select star from employees, where department, like inside the single quotes, we can write IT. So now if you will execute from line number 11 to 16, you will see that both the select statements, that is the one written in line 12 and the other one written in line 16, are going to give you the same output. So you can write it in this way as well by using the like operator. Now let's talk about question number 4. So in question number 4, we have to answer how do you select employees with a salary greater than 70,000. So we can write select star from employees, and we will be using the where clause. So we will write where salary is greater than 70,000. So now we will select this statement and we will execute it. So you can see that all those records are being displayed from the table where the employees have salary greater than 70,000. Let's talk about question number 5. So how do you sort the results by the last name in ascending order? So we can write select star from employees, order by last name in ascending order. So no need to write ASC, or alternatively you can write ASC as well. That's not going to create any difference. So we can either write in this way, and I'll copy it and paste it here in line 26. So you can choose either way. You can either write as we have written in line 24, or you can either write in the way in which we have written in line 26. So if I'll execute both the select statements together, so you can see both of them will generate the same output, right? So we have sorted the results in the ascending order of the last name column. This was question number 5. Now let's discuss about question number 6. So in question number 6, how do you select distinct departments from the employees table? So we can simply write select. First of all, let's write select star. So we can write select star from employees. And then we will go back. In place of star, we will write distinct department. Let's select the statement written in line 30, and let's execute it. So these are the 3 distinct departments that we have. So the very first being finance, then we have HR, and then we have IT. Now let's talk about the next question. So here we need to answer, how do you find the count of the number of the employees in each department? So we can write select. First of all, let's write select star. So we can write select star from employees. Now let's go back. We want to show the number of employees in each department. So we can write department, comma, count star from employees, group by department. So it will create the groups for each one of the departments and will then tell you the count of the employees for each one of the departments. So I will simply select this statement and will execute it. So it shows you the count of the employees in each one of the department, right? And here you can also write in place, since an alias can be provided. So in place of no column name, you can write number of employees. Number of employees. If you will now execute the select statement written in line 34 and will execute it, so this is the output that it's going to generate, right? Alternatively, we can also write in place of count star, we can also write count employee ID, because in employee ID, it's a primary key. And as you can see that this is the primary key. So in this employee ID, obviously null values will not be present, right? And count function will actually not count if any null value is present in a column. So here no null values will be present. So you can alternatively you can write count employee ID as well. So basically, if a column is a primary key, then in that column duplicates cannot be there and null values cannot be there. That is also one thing that you should keep in mind. So we can write select department, comma, count of employee ID columns. We can write employee ID, and we can name this column as number of employees. From employees, group by department. right? So since in the select statement, you can see that we have used two columns. The very first is department and the second one is employee ID. But an aggregation is applied on the employee ID column, so that's fine. But if I'll talk about the department column, then no aggregation is being used on this column. So we will have to mention it in the group by clause. That's why we have written group by department. So you can write either one of the two statements and both of them are going to generate the same output. So if I'll select both of them and will execute them, you can see that both of them are going to give the same output. Now let's talk about question number 8. So in question number 8, we need to tell how do you find the maximum salary in the employees table. So we can simply write select max salary. Let's give it an alias name. So inside the square brackets, we can write maximum salary from employees. Right. If we will now execute the statement written in line 40, 41, 40 is comment, so no problem. In 41, if we'll execute it, so you can see that the maximum salary is 81,000. Now, let's talk about the next question. How do you find the average salary of the employees in the finance department? So again, we can use aggregate functions. And for question number 9, we can write select. First of all, let's write select star from employees. And let's go back and remove this star. And we have to find out the average salary. So we can write AVG, bracket open, bracket close, salary. And then in the where condition, where department like inside the single quotes, you can write finance. Fine. If I will execute the statement written here in line 43 and 44, it's going to show the average salary for finance department. Also, you can give an alias name to this average salary. So just before the from keyword in the square brackets, we can write average. Maybe we can write finance average. And if you will now execute the statement written in line 44, you will see that in the output, the name of the column has changed. Now let's talk about the last question for this set. So here we need to tell how do you select employees whose last name starts with M. So we can say that select star from employees, and then we will come back and we will say select star. No, we have to select all the columns, so no problem. Select star from employees. We need to put a where clause. So end key, and then we will write where last name like last name starts with M. So we can write M percentage because the very first character has to be M for the last name. And then all of the characters would be other different characters. So if we will now execute the statement written in line 47, 48, you will see that these are the following records that we have. And if you'll have a look at the last name column, then the first letter begins with M, right? So this was the first set of questions for SQL Basics. We will meet in the next session. We will discuss about other questions. So till then, thank you. Bye-bye.